Good afternoon, good evening, guys. Dear my brothers and sisters, it's been a while since I haven't done any clips, but it's really fun, nowadays. Like especially the more you dig, the more you research about our history, Eritrea, Ethiopia, and relation to the Western, to the Arab world, Mediterranean, So when you read about the pharaohs, land of the Punt, land of the Puntland, not Puntland in Somalia, the land of the Punt, my friend. Hot, shut, hot, hot. She was really hot. No? Hot, shut, hot, like it. So she sent how many is it? 550 invoice with her ship. How many ships was it? 5? Like it. We can assume they were like this, kind of like this dose. So she sent all this ship to discover us, the most handsome, the most beautiful people. And she found us, my friend, there was so much amazement. Man, these people are really beautiful creatures on Earth. At that time, didn't have all these areas in Northern America, or kind of all this Scottish, Irish potato kind of thing, all this immigration to America. I don't want Mr. Donald Trump to get angry at me, because I want to make his America great, my friend, So that time, my friend, she put, so she discovered all these really beautiful people, so they recorded on their entry and on their log. These people are light skin, beautiful red color, my friend, and tall people, light body. They have all that boomerang, my friend. That was the norm, that was the armory, they had boomerang, my friend, and the woman was so gorgeous, my friend, so sexy. They used to wear all this yellow kind of like light bright, as we call it today nowadays, chiffon, shuf. They used to wear that yellow kind of bright color, and these people were frequenting very colorful kind of dresses, our women. So they had this short sleeve, my friend, very sexy people, light skin, my friend. That's a typical model of my family, my friend. I tell him about my family. It's really nice, very exciting, isn't it? So these people were so much impressed, my friend. So much excited. As you can see, my friend, Egypt. This is a proper barren land, barren sand. Even if you go all the way to Alexander the Great, when Herodotus recorded what is told from the oral history of the people that he made that, they were so much impressed, my friend. Our land used to be jungle forest all the way to the Red Sea, Zula, after all that area, my friend, okay? So they took all these baboons, all these plants, ebony trees, my friend, this olive and all the trees as a sample so that they can plant it in their pyramid, So the pyramid nowadays, my friend, so they recorded all our histories on their cells, in their hieroglyphics, telling about us, my friend, how beautiful people were, So when you come to Europe, all this tactical, strategical, all that kind of stuff, his name was a Roman writer, Tacitus. So he wrote about this old Germanic people, you got people in Germany, Scandinavian countries, my friend, all these brown people, from living in the mummified land, freezing cold weather in Europe, my friend. Even the Brexit bonus, So all this idea about this mummification, they had all these Egyptians, I do suspect, doubt, they got that idea from this freezing weather, because that's a very hot area, it's really, all this cancer, everything comes because of deficiency of sunlight, my friend, it's not something that you can create, research, and come up with a solution. It's the sun, my friend. We own the sun, okay? We are owners of the sun. 99% owners, my friend. Rich people. People of the point, my friend, beautiful people already skin. We. So that's called currency value. Called this Nasdaq and stock control in America, like, you know, in London Stock Exchange, my friend. That's the value, the respect, my friend, currency rate of our values, okay? So when it comes to the mummification, in what way it is, like in all these ancient Europeans, ancient pharaohs, they used to mummify so that all their bodies don't get decomposed, okay? So that's Europe, my friend, mummified. People living in freezing cold weather, right? You know? So, my friend, it doesn't stand in parallel as per kind of like equate with our currency value, right? Come on, it's very nice to respect all of us each, like we are all human beings, like, you know? Anyway, today is about this called Duda, okay? That word, my friend, when I was a kid, it's some Amharic word. I don't think we, the Korean people, know it, like, you know? I used to say that word without not understanding its meaning. Like, Duda means like it's an isolated or serialized, like, you know? So I read it in a place called Cemetery, an area in Ethiopia called Gulele, okay? I read from the book of Alvarez, the embassy, Portuguese embassy stay in Ethiopia in the 1500s during Sosthenes, like, you know? So Sosthenes had a problem with this Ibn Ibrahim, the left, we call it Grand, you know? When he ravaged the whole of Abyssinia, Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Ethiopia, the whole land, he stayed there for 20 years, so he destroyed every record. So, like, you know, all the Ethiopians, we, the people of Habesha, like, they were screaming. Sosthenes, was it Sosthenes or someone, like, you know? Fasidis, I'm not 100% sure. No, it's Libyan David, called all this Portuguese embassy. Well, that time, Portugal and Spain were the same country, like, unified. So, these are papal states. So, the head of the Pope was the head of the whole European Catholic religions, like, you know? Not sure whether Britain was part of England. I think that was the time when they separated, like, you know, all this Protestant, you know, Luther, Martin Luther, and rebellion, all these people, like, you know, so they separated from the thing. Anyway, because like these people, they took me from here, so that I convert my religion into Protestantism. So they put me into this word called King Martin Luther King. Well, it's black, you know, civil rights movement, but he's carrying the name about this Protestant. Martin Luther, Dr. Martin Luther, from that Protestant. You go all these 100 years and, you know, 30 years war of religion. Anyway, I'm not gonna do it because we go all this Swedish Lutheran Protestant church in Eritrea, you know, that started from the Swedish missionaries. They stayed there for 70 years. So that's people, like, you know, you got really very minority, few clique, but highly educated because of this scholarship, all these missionaries. When the missionaries, when they come, they just educate you, they wipe, they take all your local history and they implement it, you know, all this, like this Nazi idea about these Scandinavian countries, like, you know? You got people like President Isaias and all these people, like, you know? So that's so when the Portuguese stayed in Ethiopia, no, Sosthenes, you know, the king, emperor, converted his religion because he thought the Europeans are extremely very civilized people, so he wants to be like them. Okay, so he had that kind of, like, you know, inferiority kind of complex. Well, that's how I see it. You know? So he is the head of the state, man. He is the head of the church, or the church. Okay? We had that partnership and relationship with these Coptic Egyptian Christians. Okay, so 100,000 people converted to their religion. So when you convert to religion, what happens? Like, you know, you become that person. So all these European gods you worship, okay? So, my friend, there was a big uproar, my friend. A lot of civil war. So he was deposed. I think he abdicated power by himself, okay? So that's the first emperor who converted and put a security risk to all the followers of the other church in Ethiopia, okay? Habesha people, okay? So those people who converted their religion, my friend, against all these missionaries, European, all these Jesuits, you know, from France and people from there, like, you know, so these Eritreans, Ethiopians, my friend, when they were dying, they were isolated into another cemetery, and all these foreigners. They used to call it gulele. Gulele means people who are isolated or ostracized, to use the right term when it comes in the Greek times, like when people try to ostracize from the general community. So their cemeteries were called gulele, yetegalele, people who are isolated. Okay. So these people suffer for so many centuries, so these people are outliers from the general mainstream religion of the state. Okay, you go to Church of England, you go in Italy, Roman Catholic Church, So if you are Muslim or someone from some other people, you are against the state. So you are national security of the state, so normal, something like that you can understand. So all these people were being going to the cemetery called Gulele. It's the same thing that's Duda. Okay, Duda, So we have that social organization in Eritrea, so we have this Tigray and Shumagile, okay? So these Tigray people are kind of like, it's like this oligarchy, kind of like very final, it's not kind of democratically participatory kind of this administration. So you got that very successful people militarily, my friend. So they rule the whole majority of people, So these people who are Tigray, those who are downcasted, Duda, as to use the word, okay, had to give everything to these Shumagile people, the really powerful people, the clique, what we call this oligarchy, all this in Russia. Kind of big people, superpower people, my friend, they have to give all their women, their daughters, their cattle, Even these people are because they are isolated, my friend, nobody's gonna give them their daughters. Okay, so they are sucked. In Tigray, they call it commercial. People are sucked, my friend. So the generation, they're not gonna have kids. They die, my friend. They live always by, okay, they live all by offering their milk, my friend. They seem So at last, what happens is neurologically they die, my friend. All their brain, all their bone marrows, depleted. They die. So their genes are not going to transfer to their kids, offspring. So that's the word called Buddha. Okay. So if you are converting the religious from your Tawahid religion into Roman Catholic Church, into Protestantism, or this Swedish missionary, you are called Buddha. Okay. So that's really the worst isolation, my friend. So all the laws, customary laws, were done. If you sleep with a woman, somebody's woman, it's like it serves, it's like it's subhuman slaves, okay? If you are Shumagile from the higher clique of the power of Shumagile, nobody's gonna talk to you, my friend. You can even take all the women, nobody's gonna talk to you. But if you are into this Tigray, a bit of slave, you must have put someone, my friend, you dead, okay? And our system of organization was the firstborn are the inheritors of the power of the society. So if you go and going licking, okay, that's Gulele, okay? That's Buddha, because that's really the worst horrendous kind of thing, my friend, the worst crime. It's really subhuman thing, all these Europeans, all these whole Indians, Chinese, all the people they do but them, my friend. So these people, my friend, all these Swedish missionary people, they try to ensnare me using this linking, so that I get this Buddha outcast, man, isolated, ostracized from my society. These are highly educated in Sweden countries, Scandinavian, in Europe, everything, They are all of them, the Roman Catholic and Protestant Eritreans, my friend. We got people called Kenisha, somewhere in Protestants, Swedish kind of Protestants living as a Kenisha. All of them are put together. They're not 3% of the whole society, okay? But these are the oligarchy, people controlling the government, everything, my friend, the education center. They come straight into scholarship in this Scandinavian countries. So this Dr. Musse Miskin happened to be one of them, my friend. He's a neurologist, he's a psychiatrist. Somewhere in Carolina Hospital in Sweden, somewhere in Stockholm, So he had this really big head kind of thing about him. He thinks he's like God, my friend. Nobody should have that Misgina name, my friend, because he's God. Nobody's gonna have that name called Misgina, my friend. So one of my parents from my mom's side called Bashar skin, okay? So these people have the obligatory, they have to be killed, okay? Because that name only is going to belong to them. It's really like this idea of this fascism, Nazis idea, like